Hi, my name's Dave with the Platinum Chefs. Today what we're going to be doing is a dish that I just truly love, and it's coconut curry vegetables over rice. Now what I'll do first, I've already got the 4-quart Platinum pan here, and I've already rinsed the rice, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the rice in. I've got 2 cups of rice to 1.5 cups of water per cup, so that's going to be a total of 3 cups of water. I'll just go ahead and add the water to it. So instead of doing 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, in Platinum you only have to use 1.5 cups. So I'll put this on the stove, turn it on medium heat, place the lid on it, and when the temperature gauge gets to 80 Celsius, I'll turn it off, the stove, and set the timer for 15 minutes, and the rice will be done perfectly. Now what we're going to be doing is the vegetable curry. First, I will saute some onions. So I've diced them in about 1/2-inch squares, and I'm going to saute those until they get a little translucent. Then I will go ahead and add the tomatoes to it, and then I'll add the celery, carrots, red and green bell peppers, the broccoli, and then the white and red cabbage, topped off with ginger. I love the taste of ginger in this dish. Okay, what I'm going to do first, I'll go ahead and add the onions in there to saute. Now, I preheated the pan so it won't take too long to heat while our rice is cooking. Just using a wooden spoon. Again, I'm not going to add any oil or any water when I'm sauteing. And I want those onions to be a little translucent in their color before I add everything else. I'll just let that saute a little bit right there. Okay, now the onions have been cooking for about 2 minutes, and so that's about where you want it. So now I'm going to add the tomatoes. And I'm cooking this about, medium high. So get those in there cooking. Now I'll go ahead and add the celery. And I'm doing a large batch today because I love this. I'm going to share it with some neighbors across the street. I shared it with them before and they loved it. Now I'm going to add the carrots. Now I've diced the carrots, cut the carrots in half, and then I cut the carrots in a diagonal. I just think there's something magical about cutting vegetables in a diagonal. And I did the same thing with the celery. Here's some red and green bell peppers. Then I'm going to be adding the broccoli, cabbage. Again, as I mentioned, you can even add asparagus. Asparagus is really good in this. I've done that before. Okay, and then the ginger right on top. Okay, so there you have it. That's the vegetable part of the dish that we'll be cooking. I'll go ahead and set the lid on that now, and I'll let that cook for about 10 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and stir it in so the ginger can mix with the flavors of the vegetables, and then we'll let it cook for about another 10 minutes. Okay, you notice the rice, I started that out on medium temperature, and it's already hit 80, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and turn the stove off. Set the timer for 15 minutes. Start it, and the rice will be done. Now for the coconut curry mixture. I take a can of coconut milk, pour it in the 1.8 quart, spill a little there. That's what happens when the coconut milk gets a little cold when you're in colder areas. And I'm going to add probably about 2 to 3 tablespoons of curry. You could do this to taste if you wanted to. Then I'll set that on the stove. I'll turn the heat up to about 4 on that. You really don't want it to boil, but you do want the hardened coconut to melt, and then we'll go ahead and mix that mixture. Let's go ahead and check the stir fry. Okay, I'll go ahead and stir it here. It looks wonderful. Everything's cooking good. I've actually left the temperature on medium-high for about 8 minutes. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to 5 or put it back at medium. Oh, that smells wonderful. Wish you could smell it. Go ahead and put the lid on, and we'll let that cook for about another 10 minutes. Okay, the rice beeped at me saying it was done, so we'll go ahead and look at the rice. Okay, it's done, so I'll go ahead and turn that off. Open up the rice. And okay, the rice is done, 15 minutes, and it's perfect rice every time in Platinum. And I turn the heat off on that. But light, fluffy, great rice. Okay, now the mixture here has just got up to 20 Celsius. But you noticed I've stirred that in, mixed everything in, the curry, stirred it, that big chunk is melted. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into the stir fry. Take the lid off, turn off the induction, pour in the curry mixture. Oh, that smells so good. Stir that around. And the flavor combination of these vegetables are fantastic. Again, if you wanted to add some beef or some chicken, you could surely do that. This is also a gluten-free dish. There's been no gluten used in this, so of our customers who have celiac or gluten intolerance, this is a great meal for that. The rice we put on for 20 minutes, or excuse me, 15 minutes. Then we started cooking, sauteing the onions. We added everything else. When the rice was done, we put the curry sauce in here. So everything finished in about 20 minutes. That's not bad. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and get it plated so you can see what it looks like. Well, there you have it. Coconut curry with vegetables over rice. Fabulous meal. The flavors just explode in your mouth. It's a great meal. Okay, thanks for coming to another segment of the Platinum Chefs. Again, coconut curry with vegetables over rice. Now, we did the rice in the forecourt. Turn the temperature to medium. Let the temperature gauge get up to 80 Celsius, and then we turned the stove off. And then it cooked for 15 minutes. We used a 1.8 quart to mix the coconut milk with the curry. And then, of course, the wok is the grand vessel for today's meal. Check out our website at platinumathome.com. That's platinumathome.com. You'll be able to see our full recipe on the blog, coconut curry with vegetables over rice. Again, thanks. Bon appetit.